All right, good morning, everybody. Um, it's been a little bit since our last stream. I'm really looking forward to doing some more Persona 4 Golden today, and I hope you'll enjoy. There is a new setup, by the way. I'm not sure if you were here for the last couple of streams, but I've been using a more underwater um, background, and it was great having that there. But I did commission someone to make some custom backgrounds for me here. So that is what we're using today. This is my sort of official overlays and setup and everything, courtesy of Sing. They are listed in my artist panel on my page under the About Me section. So definitely go check out their VGen. They did fantastic work. They did all the branding for my channels as well as my socials. And everything turned out really, really well. So I'm really excited about that. I don't know. I moved some things around. I have new channel fonts or chat overlay. This one was really, really, really awesome. If I could just get this one was really didn't want to do that. Sorry. Accidentally played that, but so yeah, the happy chat is by Clive Jin. I also have the link to their Etsy page, so definitely check that out. The background theme that you're hearing, which is very Persona inspired, is from Seiyumi, also someone on VGen, so I would recommend checking them out as well. But yeah, it's been a lot, to say the least. It's been quite the journey, and I'm really excited that we sort of made it kind of this far. I know I've kind of been putting in sorry, just getting a drink there. Always remember to hydrate. But just putting in, that extra little bit of effort in, showing that, things can work as, you're just putting some much needed work into there, if that makes sense. So I'm just checking out a couple of other things, making sure everything is set up correctly before going into before getting into Persona today. And it seems like everything is set up pretty well, but I don't know. Hard to say how things are really going to pan out. So I don't know. We'll see how things kind of play out as they would. But I don't know. I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Persona and kind of hope for the best. So let me go ahead and switch over to that now. Just give me a second. While we get that fired up, and I am covering myself there. Actually, let me move myself over a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Oh, damn it. I ended up skipping that again, but that's okay. Yeah, I honestly don't really remember what we were doing last time. I know we had just unlocked the personas for the main character Yu, and also Yosuke, I believe. Yeah, we had just gotten into the battles, so yes, let's go ahead and do that. Again, I'm not going to read any of the text.
今日のニュースにもありました稲葉市ですが、今年も頻繁に濃霧が観測されています。
The majority of this is voice acted. Anything that's not, I'm just going to read as is, and I will go through it at my pace. I do read pretty quickly, so sorry if the text goes by a
実は
little
これは
fast.
ここ数年見られるようになった異常気象で、原因はよく分かっていません。周辺にお住まいの方はご注意ください。今日は稲葉市の事件について時間を延長してお伝えしました。まもなく午前0時です。
A woman in a kimono. Okay. Okay. Granted, if you're new here, I have played the first game. This is my first playthrough of Golden, so I know that there are events that are added to, slightly different. There's new characters. I've seen the anime, so I'm very aware of everything that's going on. I'm just trying to experience the story for the first time, because Persona 4 is actually my favorite Persona, so I am excited to go through this again. Spooky. Pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy stuff.
ご心配めさるな。
Forgot.
現実のあなたは
よう
眠りに
こそ
ついていらっしゃる。私が夢の中にてお呼び立てしたのでございます。再びお目にかかりましたな。
ここは何かの形で契約を果たされた方のみが訪れる部屋。あなたは日常の中で無意識に目覚めを促され、内なる声の導く定めを選び取った。そして見事力を覚醒されたのです。
これをお持ちなさい。今宵からあなたはこのベルベットルームのお客人だ。あなたは力を磨くべき運命にあり、必ずや私どもの手助けが必要となるでしょう。あなたが支払うべき代価は一つ。契約に従い、ご自身の選択に相応の責任を持っていただくことです。
Okay.
結構。あなたが手に入れられたペルソナ。それはあなたがあなたの外側の事物と向き合った時、表に現れ出る人格。さまざまな困難と相対するため自らを鎧う覚悟の仮面とでも申しましょうか。
Okay.
しかもあなたのペルソナ能力はワイルド。他者とは異なる特別なものだ。空っぽに過ぎないが無限の可能性も宿る。 そう、いわば数字のゼロのようなもの。ペルソナ能力は心を御する力。他者と関わり、絆を育み、あなただけのコミュニティを築かれるがよろしい。
Hey, how's it going?
コミュニティの力こそが
Hope you're having a good day so far.
ペルソナ能力を伸ばしていくのです。
Welcome back to the stream.
コミュニティは単にペルソナを強くするためだけのものではありません。
Community. I guess that's how they translate the social links system.
ひいてはそれはお
Having
客
a
様を
community
真
is
実の
important.
光で照らす輝かしい道しるべともなっていくでしょう。
あなたに覚醒したワイルドの力はいずこへ向かうことになるのか。ご一緒に旅をしてまいりましょう。
It's good work, so I'll be lurking a bit as I do stuff, but I'm happy to get to listen and talk here and there when I can. Oh, of course. I appreciate anyone that wants to stop by the stream, even if you're just lurking around. I appreciate it. But yeah, I hope work goes well for you today. Hopefully not too many difficulties and all that. And hopefully it's a good Thursday.
では再び見えます時までごきげんよう。
Hey.
Yo, おはようさん。昨日の夜中の見たの？誰だかいまいちわかんなかったけど、あれに映った以上ほっとけない。とにかく放課後様子見に行こうぜ。クマからなんか聞けるかもしんないし。
I'm very much aware, but
また誰かが放り込まれたんだとしたら、やっぱマジでいるのかもな、犯人。被害者が死ぬ直接の原因はあの世界のせいかもしれないけどさ。あの世界を狂気として使ってる奴がいるなら許せないよな。
I'll wait until there's no
だからさ、絶対俺たちで犯人見つけようぜ。だって警察が捕まえられるか？人をテレビに入れてる殺人犯なんてさ。
Right, the police can't help, so it's up to teenagers. Just like the Power Rangers, right? We'll leave the fate of the world. In this case, this small, quaint town that seems to be plagued by mysterious murders. We'll leave it up to the kids. They know what to do.
だよな。約束は守りたいよな。
約束？
実は昨日さ、俺んちのテレビで試したら頭突っ込めたんだよ。お前みたいに。俺が一人でテレビに入れたの。あの力が目覚めたからかもな。ペルソナだっけか。もしかすると事件を解決するために俺たちが授かったもんかもしれないよな。けどテレビに入るのもペルソナもお前が最初にやってのけたんだよな。お前となら犯人見つけてこの事件を解決できそうな気がすんだ。まあよろしく頼むぜ。
頑張って頑張って。 Magician Arcana. Let's go, let's go.
ペルソナ能力は心を御する力。心とは絆によって満ちるもの。他者と関わり絆を育み、あなただけのコミュニティを築かれるがよろしい。コミュニティの力こそがペルソナ能力を伸ばしていくのです。
I think this game is telling weebs and neets like myself that we need to go outside. You have to be part of the quote-unquote community. I don't know, I like people and at the same time I don't. You know what I mean?
里中、昨日は悪い、心配させて。
そんなことよりユキコまだ来てない？
え？天城？さあ、まだ見てないけど。
And it's raining.
どうしよう。ねえ、あれってやっぱ本当なの
？Normally I hate when characters in anime say that. That Toshio, like, you know, like they're helpless or something like that a lot. The only case that I would accept that would be Megumi from Food Wars. It seems very appropriate for a character, but usually when anyone else says it, it feels overdone. In this case, it's not too bad for Persona because there's like some genuine concern instead of like self-doubt, I guess.
昨日映ってたのユキコだと思う。
Probably was, wasn't it?
あの着物旅館でよく着てるのと似てるし、この前インタビュー受けた時も着てた。心配だったから夜中にメールしたんだけど返事来なくて。でも夕方頃にかけた時は今日は学校来るって言ってたから、私。
分かったから落ち着けって。で、メールの返事はまだないのか？
うん。それどういうこと？
わかんねえけど、そういうことならとにかく天城の無事を確かめるのが先だろう。里中、天城に電話。
Back in the era of flip phones. Simpler time.
どうしよう。留守電になってる。出ないよ。
マジかよ。じゃあまさか天城はあの中に？
やめてよ。きっと他に何か表示とか。旅館の方で手伝いしてるかも。そしたら携帯出れないと思うし。
That's a major coup.
手伝いって学校休んでか？
とにかくかけてみる。天城屋旅館は
Right.
ユキコ、お願い。
It doesn't seem like it to me.
ユキコ？よかった、いたよ。そっか。なんでもないっす。また後でメールするから。よかった、ユキコいたよ。急に団体さんが入って手伝わなきゃいけなくなったって。そういや今までも年に1回くらいはこういうことあったっけね。
Classic overreaction.
明日もずっと旅館の方にいるって。って花村、いらない心配しちゃったじゃん。てか全然無事じゃん。まさか天城はあの中にとかってさ。ったく
悪かったって。 けど俺らもそう思いたくなるわけがあんだよ。
どんな？
俺たち真夜中テレビに映るのはあっち側にいる人だって思ってたんだ。だってそうだろ、テレビの中にいるからテレビに映っちまう、いかにもありそうじゃん。でも天城はちゃんと現実にいる。どういうことか確かめた方がいいかもな。よし、
Like a
放課
precursor.
後ジュネスで待ち合わせようぜ。俺準備して先行ってるな。まあ俺の痛い体験とかその辺はいいからな。
そんな話普通絶対信じないよね。実際にあの中見てなかったら。
まったくだぜ。で、とにかく中の様子を知りたいわけなんだけど。なんで今日に限って客がこんなに。そういや今家電はセール中だっけか。
なんとかクマくんの話聞けないかな。
そうだ、ちょっと来てみ。なあ、手だけ突っ込んで呼んでみね。どうせクマ入り口でうろうろしてんだろ。里中、
Yeah, and
お前らこっち
somehow
ね。俺
just
と一緒に壁やっ
kind
て。
of blocking the side is gonna stop people from noticing a dude sticking his hand through a television.
壁？
どうした？
See?
声
Look
で
at
かい
that.
って。
Look at that woman on the left. Like
歯型ついてるし、大丈夫？
that sure did a lot. I would say I think I'm gonna cry, but you know what? Let's go with I think I'm gonna cry. Why not? That'll
泣
be
かな
funny.
いでよ。もうクマの仕業だな。おい、クマ吉、そこにいいんでしょ？
なにこれ何の遊び？
That's very meta.
遊びじゃねっつの。今
It is a
中
game.
に誰かの気配はあるのか？
誰かって誰？クマは今日も一人で寂しんぼだけど、むしろ寂しんぼいだけど。
Ooh, nice one.
けど誰もいない？本当に？
あ、嘘なんてつかないクマ。クマの鼻は今日もビンビン物語クマ。
私やっぱりユキコに気をつけるように言ってくる。土日は旅館が忙しいだろうから一人で出歩いたりしないと思うけど。
そうだな。月曜一緒に来るんだろ
うん、家まで迎えに行く。
う。もしかしたら今夜の真夜中テレビでまた何かわかるかもしれない。
Well, it is still raining.
全部勘違いならいいんだけどな。今日見たら電話するわ。携帯の番号教えてくれ。じゃあ今夜見るの忘れんなよ。
Guess we'll find out.
やっぱこれ以上は出なそうっすね。犯人に直接つながる物証はなしか。
まだ殺しと決まったわけじゃない。
殺しですよ絶対。あんな痛い事故死なわけないですって。
まあな。警察でも死の状況をつかめないのに同じ格好の仏が2つ。これで殺しなら鉄板で同一犯による連続殺人だな。けどだとするとどういうことだこりゃ。
That is the $1,000,000 question.
最初は三角関係のもつれに間違いないって思ったんですけどね。
事件当時、歌手の柊美鈴は海外公演中でアリバイが固い。通話記録もある。というか、そもそも愛人問題がメディアに出たのは、美鈴本人が会見で暴露したからだ。これから殺そうってのに、わざわざ自分に疑いが向くようなことを言う奴はいない。
ですよね。
True, true.
旦那の生為太郎にしても、いくら揺さぶっても何も出てこないしな。奴はここ半年は中央で仕事をしていた。スキャンダルで最近町に戻ってきたらしいが、事件当時は市外の議員事務所に詰めてた。もちろん山野真由美の死んだ日もだ。泊まり込みで作業していたと裏が取れてる。おまけに山野の方にも失踪前後に生為と接触した形跡は全くないときてる。
この事件で騒がれたせいで生為のやつ秘書クビになってますからね。生き残った関係者の中じゃむしろ一番の被害者じゃないですか。
ああ、確かにな。しかも2件目の
Don't think that would be the case if it happened here in America.
最大の接点は遺体発見者ってところだが、口封じとしちゃおかしい。
I mean, sure, they would face backlash, but eventually it would all just be swept under the rug and then life would go on as
小西の
normal.
死は1件目が世に出た後だし、それにあの遺体、隠すどころか見てほしいって風だ。他のつながりっていや、外車の山野が死の前に滞在した宿の娘と同じ高校ってくらいか。だが動機と全然絡まねえし、こんな人の少ない田舎じゃそんくらいの偶然はある。
ですね。ニュースで見たっすよ、その辺。
何？宿の話もう出てんのか？
よし、わかった。やっぱあれじゃないですかね。遺体の状況に僕らが見てもわからない小西咲だけにわかる何かがあったとか。
Mm-hmm.
それを口封じしたかったんですよ、きっと。
Oops.
ともあれ、今は外車周りをしつこく洗うしかねえが。
It's an interesting theory, though.
犯人、町の人間だな。
Oh, naturally.
出ましたね、刑事の勘。
おかえりなさい。
What's that thing they say? When they walk in, Tadaima. I'm home. Okay. Well, let's do our due diligence and save. Let's see what pops up on the Midnight Channel tonight. Oh, look who it is.
今日は私、天城由紀子がナンパ逆難に挑戦してみたいと思います。題して、やらせなし突撃逆難由紀子姫の白馬の王子様探し。まっちゃん半期見えないとこまで勝負しようハートみたいなね。もう私用のホストクラブをぶったてるぐらいの意気込みで、じゃあ行ってきます。
Interesting and weird. Kat, do you want to go outside? Okay. Oh, you both want to go outside. Okay. Okay. Good. I swear, both of them.
おい、見たか今の。天城だよな。顔本人だったし、つか名乗ってたぜ。けど言ってることおかしくなかったか。しかもなんかバラエティ番組みたいな。なんだこれ。今までのもこうだったのか。どうなってんだ一体。
I've got two of them. They're both white American short hairs. They're actually pretty tiny compared to regular, like the average cat. Their mom was really small. They're both pretty deaf though. But they are siblings, a boy and a girl. The boy, we actually kind of named them after, because they have white, it reminded us of winter at the time, so we named the boy Blizzard, which kind of, oddly enough, makes sense, because he's the more rambunctious one. He doesn't know how to play nice. He doesn't know how to regulate his power, if that makes sense. So when he play fights, he kind of fights for real. And the girl, his sister, is named Yuki, which is Japanese for snow. So they've been with us for, I want to say, 4 or 5 years at this point. They're a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Let's try to contact Chie.
そうだね。あいつから天城に連絡してもらおう。
Yeah, they still like to do a lot of the.
朝一でジュネスに集合な。
They still like to do a lot of the things that they did when they were kittens. Like they try to jump up onto my desk and like just take up a small amount of space, but they're not that small anymore. So it's actually it's cute, but it's a mild annoyance. It's easy to forgive them though. They're just doing what they do. I mean, cats don't really care. They just do what they want. Which is both a blessing and a curse, I think.
Ohayo. お父さん早起きだったから一緒に起きた。帰り、遅いって。
Detective's work is never done. Yeah, I don't know. The boy likes
出か
to
けるの？
sleep under my chair, and so because I have a rolling chair, whenever they're there, I can't really move, and I have to actually like be that guy, and I have to like physically remove them. He doesn't like that though. When you try to remove him from a space where he's comfortable with, he actually like bites you, like playfully, of course, but he is annoyed. Kind of have to like, I guess the best word, even though it's like kind of a negative connotation, you kind of have to like muzzle his mouth when you move him around. So yeah, I mean, I'm always aware. I always like look down to make sure if they're inside the room or around my stream setup. But yeah, he's a funny little guy, and I think he has separation anxiety, to be honest. He's very much like, you can tell that he's kind of anxious all the time. and that he's like worried that, he's not sure where his like next meal is coming from, or like if we go away, like we're not gonna be back, which is weird because we got him when he was a kid, when he was a kitten. So maybe it's like leftover like trauma from being separated from his mom or something. I don't know. But we always come back. I mean, the only thing that sucks is, well, because they're deaf, we can't let them outside. Because they can't properly react to everything else around them. I mean, we let them go out on the deck because it's screened in. But yeah, it's like kind of tough that we have to limit them, and it would be nicer if we could allow them to kind of go free, and sort of get into the normal trouble that cats do. But yeah, kind of sad.
留守番できるから。高気圧が張り出し、終日お出かけ日和の晴れとなるでしょう。続いて週明けの空模様です。晴れだって。洗濯物干そうっと。行かないの
？True.
悪い、お待たせ。バックヤードからいいもの見っけてきたから。見てみ、どうすかこれ。いくらペルソナあるからってゴルフクラブじゃ心もとないからな。
I like how he just pulled out weapons and there's like a person like staring right at him.
つうわけで、お前どっちにする？
The katana.
おっと、分かってんじゃん。これジュネスオリジナルブランド。歯は偽物。
Oh, of course.
でもって
I
俺
can't
は
imagine they'd let you walk around in broad daylight
ありかもな。
with that, especially in Japan.
こんな感じとか？
Right. I don't think that's how it works. You know? Yeah, see, look, there's a police officer right there.
挙動不審の少年2人組を発見。刃物を複数所持。至急応援元。
は？あ、いや、なんでもないっすよ。これ別に万引きとかじゃなくて。いや、疑ってんのそこじゃねえか。てか別に怪しくないっす。あと、俺ら刃物マニアっていうか、それも危ない話っすよね。
Right,
とに
right.
かく詳しい話は署で聞く。それを床に置きなさい。手は頭の上。早く。
いや、でもこれは。
なんだこの野郎。やろうっちゅうの？
Good job, idiot.
お前、こういうバカをするタイプには見えなかったがな。今いろいろ起きてるのは知ってるんだろう。あちこちに警官が配備されてる。ったく、俺が偶然いなきゃ補導歴がついてたとこだ。
すみません。
え？じゃあいなくなったのってやっぱ天城屋の？ああ、でもまあ高校生だ。ただ家出とかってオチかもしれんが。
今の天城屋ってじゃあやっぱり。
やっぱり？
いや、なんでもないです。
こっちは今事件で忙しいっていうか、いろいろとデリケートなんだ。ニュースで知ってるだろう。これっきりにしろよ。じゃ、帰ってよし。
おっと、ごめんね。あれ？君もしかして堂島さんとこの？ちょっと聞いてもいいですか？その天城のやつ、つか天城屋の天城由紀子のことですけど。 もしかしていなくなったんですか？
え、言っていいのかな。まあ天城さんと友達なら特別だよ。天城さん、昨日の夕方ぐらいから急に姿が見えなくなったって、ご家族から。土曜だから旅館の人はみんなキリキリ舞いで、夕方頃は誰も天城さんを見なかったって。でもまだ事件って決まったわけじゃないから。ただ失踪した人が霧の日になんてのが続いてるから、署内も過敏になってて。君たち何か聞いてない？本人が例えば辛そうだったりとか。
辛そう？
ほら、1件目の殺人の前、例の山の穴が天城屋に泊まっててさ。山の穴、接客態度のことでおかみさんにひどい言葉浴びせたみたいなんだよね。で、おかみさんがストレスで倒れちゃって。ほら、
That's not good.
天城さん、おかみさんの娘なわけだし、いろいろ思うじゃない。天城さん、家出とかほのめかしたりしてなかった？じゃないと、何か都合悪いことがあって隠れてるとか言ってるやつもいてさ。なんかこれ言っちゃいけないかも。やば、言っちゃまずかったかな。
足立、部外者と立ち話してんな。コーヒーまだかよ。
すんません、今行きます。ごめん、今のなし、忘れて。
That's not weird. Not at all.
なあ、さっきの刑事、まさか天城のことを。
いた！ちょっと何やってんの？すっごい探したんだから。
いや、まあちょっと誤解されてさ、後で話すって。それより天城だよ。
もう知ってんの？携帯何度かけても連絡つかなくて、家行ってみたらユキコ本当にいなくなっちゃってて。
やっぱ行ってみるしかないな。それより警察が妙なこと言ってる。天城が都合悪いことがあって隠れてるとか。天城のおふくろさん、山の穴にいびられて倒れたらしい。動機があって、しかも揉めた直後に山の穴死んだから。
何よそれ、ユキコが犯人って流れ？なわけないじゃん。
俺にキレんなよ、分かってるっつの。チックスちゃん、やばい目に遭ってんの天城の方だってのに。
そうだよね。どうしたらいいの？
警察こんなじゃ、やっぱ俺らが行くしかないだろ。
Again, leaving the fate
私も
of
行く。
the world up to a bunch of
行
teenagers.
くからね。絶対ユキコ助けるんだから。
大丈夫かお前。
I suppose it wouldn't be a coming of age story if
け
it
ど
weren't
参ったな。
if it
丸
weren't
腰な
that.
んだよ。また何か武器になりそうなもん見つけないと。
武器？私知ってるよ。とにかく一緒に来て。ほら、ここ。
何や？
一応工房？金属製のいろんな刀とか売ってんの。
Metal crap. I like it.
おかしいだろ、なんで知ってんだこんな店。わかった。お前カンフー映画の見過ぎで。
違うっての。男子が言ってたの。武器とか鎧とか売ってるって。ほら、これとか強そう。けど重いかな。
Probably.
やっぱ危ねって気持ちはわかるけど。
ない。分かってないよ。ユキコ死んじゃうかもしれないんだよ。
Mm-hmm.
私絶対行くから。なーに、大丈夫だって。運動神経だったら負けないんだから。
Right.
あのさ、真面目に言ってんだ。向こうのこといろいろわかんないだろ。忠告聞けないなら来ないで待ってろ。行く気なら体守れる防具とかだけここで用意してくれ。
分かったよ。
けどどれ選んだもんかな。なあ、俺の分も見立てしてくれないか。お前今んとこ戦力的に切り札だから、お前が戦いやすいのが一番いいと思う。
Well, I'm sure
こっ
we're
ちはもう
only
買った
gonna
よ。そっちは
be allowed to get certain things dictated by the game, but sure, that's
つ
fine.
か俺らここで武装しちゃったらまた警察連れてかれるよな。かといってジュネスの中こんな物騒なもん下げて歩けないし。
制服着ちゃえばよくない？上から。結構わかんないと思うよ。
しょうがない。それで行こう。じゃあさ、一旦解散して夕方のセール終わんないと店も混んでるし、警察いたら3人一緒じゃ目立つだろ。
じゃあ後でジュネスのフードコートに集合ね。
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna be right back. I do have to use the restroom real quick, so be right back. New screen, by the way. Oh, thank you. I think so too. I think they did a really great job with designing everything. I'm thinking about incorporating that again. I'll probably do something like that. But I don't know. You'll miss the sticky note. Yeah. I don't know. That's something that I kind of came up with on the spot. In lieu of a Be Right Back screen, but I'll probably try to find a way to incorporate that back into this screen. If anything, maybe I will put maybe a smaller version off to the left where the Be Right Back is. So yeah, let's go ahead and get back into it. Okay, all right. Oof. Yes. Oh, good. I like, yeah. I do appreciate games that allow you to equip things from the menu or from the after you buy it immediately instead of having to go into a menu. Sure. Well, yeah. Even though I'll probably find something in the dungeon. Alright. That's good, that's good. Oh.
ついに始まりますな。では、しばしお時間を拝借するといたしましょうか。お待ちしておりました。
Oh, look who it is.
あなたに訪れる災難、それはすでに人の命をも奪い取りながら迫りつつある。ですが恐れることはございません。あなたはすでに抗うための力をお持ちだ。いよいよそのペルソナ、使いこなす時が訪れたようですな。
あなたのペルソナ能力はワイルド。それは正しく心を育めばどんな試練とも戦いうる切り札となる力。
That just reminds me of It's Always Sunny. Wild card, bitches!
私どももそのためのお力添えをしてまいります。
Good shit.
私の役割、それは新たなペルソナを生み出すこと。お持ちのペルソナカードを複数掛け合わせ、一つの新たな姿へと転生させる。
Right, right.
いわばペルソナの合体でございます。あなたはお一人で複数のペルソナを持ち、それらを使い分けることができるのです。そして敵を倒したとき、あなたには見えるはずだ。自分の得た可能性の目が手札としてね。時にそれらはひどく捉えづらいこともある。しかし恐れず掴み取るのです。
Reaching out to the truth, as it
カ
were.
ードを手に入れられたなら、ぜひともこちらへお持ちください。しか
Okay.
もあなたがコミュニティをお持ちなら、ペルソナはさらに強い力を得ることでしょう。あなたの力はそれによって育っていく。よくよく心しておかれるがよいでしょう。
Okay.
右手に見えますのはペルソナ全書でございます。お客様がお持ちのペルソナを登録されることで それをいつでも引き出せる仕組みでございます。ご利用の際は私にお気軽にお申し付けください。それともう一つ、今宵はあなたの旅をお手伝いさせていただく新しい住人をご紹介いたします。マリ
ー。分かってる、聞こえてる。よろしく。ああ、そっか。そういえばあったかも。だから見たことあるんだ。
Yeah, we have met before. Twice.
失礼いたしました。こちら、マリーでございます。彼女の魂は未だ幼く。
うるさい！余計なこと言わないでよ。
ご覧の通りでございます。ご無礼があるかもしれませんが、見習いとご理解いただいて、どうかお許しください。
Okay.
マリーが取り扱うのは、スキルカードでございます。カードを用いることで、お客様のペルソナに新たな力を与える仕組みでございます。
Okay.
また彼女は、お客様がここではない世界と絆を結ぶための手助けとなるでしょう。こちらは追ってマリーよりご連絡させていただきます。ご利用の際は本人にお気軽にお申し付けください。
I don't remember if skill cards were in the last game or the earlier iteration. I would say that they were, but I don't know.
覚えておいでですかな。以前私は申しました。あなたの運命は節目にあり、謎が解かれねば未来は閉ざされるやもしれないとね。言葉の通りでございます。戦いに敗れる以外にも終わりはあり得る。夢夢お忘れになりませぬよ。次にお目にかかりますときは、あなたは自らここを訪れることになるでしょう。楽しみでございますな。ではその時までごきげんよう。
Ooh. Oops. Huh. I guess I have to go out this way? Can't do that. Actually, is there anything available to do here yet? Not yet. Okay.
「制服日曜だからちょっと目立つな。もうじきタイムセール終わるから人も少なくなるはずだ。そろそろ行くか。里中、やっぱりお前
行くからね。
絶対無理すんなよ。
本当にあん時のクマ。
何やってんだお前。
見てわからんクマ。いろいろ考え事してるクマ。それでクマはこんなに困ってるのに。あ、ダジャレ言っちゃった。うぷぷ。
で、何か分かったのか？
Excuse me?
ま、考えても無駄かもな。お前中空っぽで脳みそもねえだろうし。
失敬だ。
It's an appropriate response here. That seems good. Alright.
けど、確かにいくら考えてもなんもわからへんがね。
うっさいよあんたら。くだらないこと言ってる場合。それよか、昨日ここに誰か来たでしょ。
なんと、クマより鼻が利く子がいるクマ。お名前何クマ？
Excuse
お
me
名
again?
前知恵だけど、それはいいから、その誰かのことを教えてよ。
確かに昨日君らとお話ししたちょっと後くらいから誰かいる感じがしてるクマ。
天城なのか？
クマは見てないからわからないけど、気配は向こうの方からするクマ。多分あっちクマ。
あっちね。みんな準備はいい？
おう。
I like that Chie is running around with like no glasses, just in a general direction, and somehow she's just able to find this place.
何ここ？お城？もしかして昨日の番組に映ってたのここなのかな？
あの真夜中の不思議な番組、本当に誰かが撮ってんじゃないんだな。
番組？知らないクマよ。何かの原因でこの世界の中が見えちゃってるのかもしれないクマ。それに前にも言ったでしょうが、ここはクマとシャドウしかいないんだってば。誰かが撮ってるとかそんなのないし、初めからここはこういう世界クマ。
初めからこういう世界って、それがよくわかんないっての。
じゃあ君たちの世界のことを全部説明できるクマ？とにかくその番組ってもののことはクマも見たことないからわからんクマ。
っていうか、本当にただこの世界が見えてるだけなの？そもそもユキコが最初に例のテレビに映ったのいなくなる前だよ。おかしくない？大体あのユキコが逆なんとかってありえないっつの。
逆なん？
俺もびっくりしたぜ。確かに普段の天城なら絶対言わないよな、あんなこと。もしかして前に俺に起こったことと何か関係あんのか？
まだいろいろとわからないけど、君たちの話を聞く限りだと、その番組っての、その子自身に原因があって生み
It's
出
likely
さ
just
れ
a
て
part
る
of
って
herself
気
that
がす
she's
るク
ashamed
マ。
of. I mean, that's okay. You can be a guy or a girl and want to be with a sexy, attractive person. That's, you
ユ
know,
キコ
that's
自身
okay.
があの映像を生み出してる？なあ、もうどういうこと？わけわかんない。ねえ、ユキコ、このお城の中にいるの？
聞いてる限り間違いないクマね。でさ、逆なんて。
ここにユキコが。私、先に行くから。
おい、一人で行くなって。あったく、俺らも行くぜ。
Okay. convenient. Okay, what's the... No, that's not it. It's the camera. Okay. Cool. Oops. Okay. Wind. Nice. Oh right, I forgot about team-up attacks. Okay. Oh, let's get a new one. Pixie, okay. I believe the Pixie has healing, so that's probably good. Wakunda, okay. Soul drop. Oh, come on, bro. Really? That is dumb. Can I switch? Screw it, we'll just do a regular attack. Okay. Wait, let's check. Okay, yeah, so they do, Pixie does have healing. The Dia. Can't believe I missed 2 attacks. That was so stupid. Had its back to me too. Oh, nope, not going up there. There we go. Good lord. Let's see if Zero does anything. Does not. Okay. Okay, this is probably gonna kill this one then. We should be able to team up. There we go. persona's luck increases by 1. We'll go with the HP SP. Nice. Oh, cool! I can freely control the camera with the right stick. It's way easier than the shoulder buttons. Oh no. Hey, good job. Nice. Got skill cards, money. I don't even know what a skill card would do. Sure. Swords. Wait. Oh, so I would be able to bestow Garu onto a persona that was compatible. Got it. Got it. Ooh, did I get there in time? Seems like it. Nice. Let's go. XP up, chest key, devil. Let's get a new persona. Why not? Ukoba. Ooh, okay. Alright, I'm curious. Oops. Nope. Just trying to see what you do. Patra. Okay, that's good to spell. Fire Skunda. Increase one foe's hit evasion rate for 3 turns. Okay, that's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Was there anything else on this floor? I don't think so. Or maybe? I don't know. I'm pretty sure we've explored everything, because this brings us back to the beginning of the castle, I think. Yeah. Okay. I don't know that if I went back outside, I would be able to restore my HP. I know there are, like, places in here that kind of allow you to do that. Or sometimes. I think it's, like, kind of random. Yes, I already did that. Mm.
雪なんて冷たくてすぐ溶けちゃう。儚くて意味のないもの。 でも私にはぴったりよね。旅館の跡継ぎって以外に価値のない私には。だけど知恵だけが言ってくれた。ユキコには赤が似合うねって。
これ天城の心の声か。確か小西先輩の時も聞こえた。
そして多分この場所はユキコって人の影響でこんな風になったクマ。
ユキコ、知恵だけが私に意味をくれた。知恵は明るくて強くて何でもできて、私にないものを全部持ってる。私なんて知恵に比べたら、知恵は私を守ってくれる。何の価値もない私を。私そんな資格なんてないのに。優しい知恵。ユキコ、私優しい知恵だってさ。笑える。
Here we go.
あれってまさか
陽介と同じクマ。抑圧された内面、それが制御を失ってシャドウが出たクマ。
ユキコが、あのユキコが私に守られてるって。自分には何の価値もないってさ。そうでなくっちゃね。あんた、何言ってんの。ユキコってば美人で色白で女らしくて、男子なんかいっつもチヤホヤしてる。そのユキコが時々私を卑屈な目で見てくる。それがたまんなく嬉しかった。そうよ、ユキコなんて本当は私がいなきゃ何にもできない。私の方がずっと上じゃない。違う、私そんなこと。
どうすりゃいいんだ。
今はとにかくちえちゃんを守るクマよ。
やだ、来ないで、見ないで。
里中、落ち着け。
違う、こんなの私じゃない。
バカ、それ以上言うな。
そうだよね。一人じゃ何にもできないのは本当は私。人としても女としても本当は勝ててない。どうしようもない私。でも私はあのユキコに頼られてるの。だからユキコは友達。手放せない。ユキコが大事。そんな、私はちゃんとユキコを今まで通り見ないふりで私を押さえつけるんだ。けどここでは違うよ。いずれその時が来たら残るのは私。いいよね。私もあんたなんだから。黙れ！あんたなんか。
ダメだ、里中！
あんたなんか私じゃない！
里中！
来るクマ。二人の力でちえちゃん救うクマよ。
Queen sitting upon the throne. I don't remember what the weakness for this one is.
真なる前。何あんたら、本物さんをかばい立てする気？ だったら痛い目見てもらっちゃうよ。
うるせえ、おとなしくしやがれ。
If anything, we'll be lucky it's one of the elements that we do have. Maybe Garu?
さーて、そんな簡単にいくかしら。
そら
Okay.
頼むぜ、ペルソナ。
Oh, it is Garu. Okay.
痛い目見ないとわかんないよね。しぶしが。
うわわ、強烈かな。大丈夫かな。
All right. Don't have anything for status. Come on, man, get back up. There we go.
頼むぜ。
I don't know, the wall's still up. Okay, it is. Okay. That's not great. Let's switch back to Izanagi. Okay, good. Okay, so she's resisting physical. Wind resistance is back, so Garu should work. Nice.
Okay.
だっさ、目がマジじゃん。貴様
Oh,
すげえ。
whoops. Okay.
こいつは手強い。頑張るクマ。
Strong. Okay, so she's strong in physical attacks. We know that she used Zio. We haven't seen if Zio works against her. We know right now that it's wind. Did we use fire against her? I don't remember. Let me switch back and check. Okay, so yeah, the only thing that would be winds. I don't have enough. we're gonna guard. Nope. What the hell just happened? Oh. Okay. Okay, we'll heal Yosuke next. Yeah.
あんたらバカじゃないの？なんでそこまでして本物かばうの？あんな薄汚い女。
She may be a grubby bitch, but she's our grubby bitch, right? Okay, so physical's out of the question. Evasion. Okay, yeah. That's bad. Oof, okay. Yeah, this is a really cool one. I like how this is so very much like not Chie. It's such like a domineering queen. I don't know. You're beginning to slip. Oops. I guess what does it matter? Oof. Shit.
大丈夫か？必要なら防御マン。
Oh, God damn it. Get up, get up, get up.
やりやがったな。頼むぜ。ペガスな。
No, we'll stick.
極めけ。
サンキュー。
極めけ。
Damn it. Yeah, it's not telling me anymore if they're,
大丈夫か
whether they're targeting
必
him
要
or
なら
not.
暴力マン。
極めけ。
カチンときたぜ。頼むぜ。ペガスな。
I guess I just have to assume after every couple of turns they're gonna do that.
大丈夫か必要なら暴力マン。
頼むぜ。ペガスな。
さばすけ。極めけ。
Okay, so basically whenever wind resistance comes back to normal, which is usually 3 turns. Okay, we haven't killed her yet. Almost.
Thank you.
Even though it's resistant. There we go. Alright. Whew, that was a lot. And we learned Zeo, which is great. Hey, we did it! It's coming down to the wire on that one. I don't remember that battle being that hard. God damn.
里中、大丈夫か？
さっきのは。
Excuse me.
何よ、急に黙っちゃって。
よせ、
Oops,
里
sorry.
中。
だって。
こいつの言う通りだ。俺もあったんだ、同じようなこと。だからわかるし、誰だってさ、あるってこういう一面。
あんたは私の中にいたもう一人の私ってことね。ずっと見ないふりしてきたどうしようもない私。でも私はあんたで、あんたは私なんだよね。
Everyone hides a part of themselves that they don't want the world to see. but it's part of who we are. And we need to accept that part of ourselves in order to keep moving ahead. Not exactly the domineering queen that we fought before, but
あんなだけど、
also not bad.
でもユキコのこと好きなのは嘘じゃないから。
バカ、そんなの分かってるっつの。おい、里中。
平気、ちょっと疲れただけ。
平気じゃねえだろう、どう見ても。それに多分お前、俺たちと同じ力使えるようになってるはずだ。ああ、どうする？よし、じゃあここは危ねえから入り口まで戻ろうぜ。
勝手に決めないでよ。私まだいけるんだから。無
理しちゃいや、クマ。
別に信じてないわけじゃねえよ。ただ俺らは天城を絶対助けなきゃなんない。俺たちと同じ力があって一緒に戦えるなら回復しといてもらった方が心強いってこと。
I feel that on some level. I think there's a lot about me that I try not to hide. I mean, I do have like an alternate account for some of my more unhinged parts of me, but well, on Twitter, I guess. But I'm trying to be more open about who I am as a person, even if I don't show that side a lot. It's good to be able to have a place where you can express sort of all of you, as opposed to just like keeping it locked away and have it like boil about until the valve like inevitably like flies off and you explode. But I get you. There's a lot of me that I don't want the general world to see. But at the same time, it's like it's not healthy to not show it either, I guess.
そのためにも一旦戻って体勢を立て直すべきって言ってんだ。
でもユキコはまだこの中にいるんでしょ。私さっきのがユキコの本心なら私伝えなきゃいけないことがある。私ユキコが思ってるほど強くない。2人一緒だったから大丈夫だっただけで、本当は
ならそれを伝えるためにもまず君が元気になるクマ。ユキちゃんは普通の人クマ。ここにいる影は普通の人間は襲わない。襲うのはここの霧が晴れる日クマ。
それまでは天城は無事だってことだな。
Yeah, it's always I found and I keep finding that it's probably not a good idea to keep things bottled up inside for too long. Sometimes you need to have like a hard conversation, even if it's just with yourself, and realize that you're a better person for just allowing yourself to be you, as opposed to being the person that you think the world wants to see. But I don't know.
まず間違いないクマ。
どういうこと？
Oh, random aside, I don't think I've tried this overlay before. Oh, that's kind of cool. I wasn't sure if that was going to be more comfortable for the stream, but
どうやら 俺らの世界と霧の晴れる日が逆さらしい。ここが晴れる日、俺らにとったら霧が出る日に被害者は影に殺される。つまり一旦外に戻っても街に霧が出るまでは天城は安全ってことだ。間違いない。前の山のアナや先輩の時も状況は同じ。知ってるだろう。二人とも死体が発見されたのは霧の日だ。
ここでもう一人の自分に殺されて。
霧はだいたい雨の後に出るんだ。けど街はここんとこ晴れ続きですぐ雨が降るって様子じゃない。大丈夫だって。戻ったらすぐ天気予報チェックしよ
でもだからってやっぱりここまで来て引き返せないよ。ユキコがいるのに一人で怖い思いしてるのに。
う。じゃあこの先どんくらい進めば天城のところに着くんだよ。
それは
敵だってこの先もっと強いやつが出てくるかもしれない。なのに無理してやられたら他に誰が天城を助けてやれんだよ。
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that I've been coming to terms with more lately. I'm still kind of in the dark a little, but I found outlets that allow me to be a more whole version of me, a more unified version, I guess, as opposed to if I were just to be what society thinks that I should be and how I should behave and act, you know? For the most part, I mean, the person that I choose to show you is a part of who I am, but it's not all of me, right? Because there are certain rules and things that we need to abide by. We do live in a society after all. But I do agree. Anyone that disagrees can go fuck themselves.
俺たちは絶対に失敗できないんだ。違うか。
わかった。さっきはごめんね。一人で勝手に突っ走っちゃって。
気にしてねえよ。天城は必ず俺たちで助ける。
うん。なんかこの前入った時より疲れた。頭もガンガンするし。花村たち平気なの？
ああ、そっか。お前メガネしてないな。
あ、そういやメガネしてんね。目悪かったっけ？
お前どんだけテンパってたんだよ。
じゃんじゃじゃーん、ちえちゃんにも用意してあるくま。はーい、ちえちゃんの。
うわ、なにこれ、すっげえ。霧が全然ないみたい。
See, she was navigating this whole time without glasses. It's crazy.
あるなら早く出してやれっつの。
今用意したんだくま。いきなり連れてくるから焦り込んば。
なるほど、そういうことなんだ。もやもやん中どうやって進むのかと思ったよ。ね、これもらっていい？
マッチのランクは？
今日のところは仕方ないけど、でもこれでリベンジできそう。二人とも勝手に行ったりしないでよ。
じゃあ約束だ。俺ら全員の約束。一人では行かないこと。みんなで力合わせなきゃ事件解決どころか天城だって無事に助けられない。
そうだね。私も約束する。
よし。じゃあ明日から放課後はできるだけここに来よう。ああ、もちろん学校ない日もな。なあ、俺、お前にリーダーやってもらいたいんだけど。最初にこの力を手に入れたのはお前だし、それに戦う力もお前が一番すごいだろ。だから、お前が探索のペース決めて、俺らがついてくってのがいいと思う。お前にならついていける。
Sure, why not?
そう言ってくれると思ったよ。俺はほら、参謀向き頭いい人のポジションでさ。
私も賛成かな。君がまとめてくれるならなんか安心。
クマも賛成かな。君がまとめてくれるなら夜も安眠。
クマ黙っててくんない？私今疲労がピークだからさ。
The Fool, I think? Yep. Cool
よ
beans.
し、とにかく今日は休んで、明日からに備えようぜ。まずは天気予報の確認忘れんなよ。雨が続くと霧になるから注意しないと。あと、準備も万端にな。
Right. Have to balance activities with investigation time.
以上、全国のニュースをお伝えしました。続いて、各地域ごとの話題をお伝えします。
Actually, I do have to use the bathroom again, so I will be right back. Okay, that was a nice quick break. Just remember to hydrate. Some ice cold water is always good, especially if you want negative calories.
なあ、ちょっといいか。
うん
お前、妙なことに首突っ込んだりしてないよな。昼間の書でのことだ。 ちょっと引っかかってな。もしかしてまだ何か言ってないことがあるんじゃないか？悩みでもあるのか？こっちも仕事に追われて相手もできず悪いとは思ってるんだが。
どうしたの？喧嘩してるの？
いや、喧嘩じゃない。
警察じゃないよ、ここ。
こっちはお前を預かる身なんだ。おかしなことには首を突っ込むなよ。
Well, it's a little too late for that.
いいな。
気象情報です。西からの高気圧の影響で、この先しばらくは春らしい晴れ間の覗く日が続くでしょう。このお姉さんがお天気決めるんでしょ？だってお姉さんが晴れって言うといつも晴れるよ。
いや、お姉さんが決めてるわけじゃなくてな。
Yeah, that's not really how the weather works.
まあいい。
I know at some point I'm gonna be able to, like, choose to study. Maybe it's now? Nope, nope. Never mind. Oh, okay. That's weird. Alright. Okay. I just had to talk to him first. Yeah, I don't remember this being part of the regular game, so that's interesting. Oh, that's cool. Alright. Wait, what happens if I go to the riverbank? Oh, hello. Okay. Okay. Alright, I guess not. Interesting and weird. Let's go back home. Yes.
Good.
Oops. Oops. Okay. Alright, let's save again. Sure. Okay, so it's sunny. We're still okay. I know at some point they're gonna ask us to join some school clubs. I don't know if that's like today.
昨日はいろいろありすぎたし、元気になってりゃいいけど。
Hopefully not. If that's the case, then we could probably go into the dungeon. Check some things out.
あ、おはよう。
Okay.
うん。昨日はいろいろありがとう。なんか恥ずかしいっていうかさ、よく考えたら二人には本音とか全部見られちゃったわけだし。
気にすんな。
確か花村も私みたいになったんだよね。花村の時はどんなだったわけ？
なんていうか。そういや、お前ん時は何もなかったよな。うん。裏表のないやつだからか。
ふーん。君は何もなかったんだ。
Excuse me?
けど君って確かに裏表とかない感じする。ちょっと不思議な感じっていうか、天然系の魅力っていうのかな。そういうのあると思うよ。うん。おう、褒めてる褒めてる。
天然って褒めてるか？
とにかくさ、今はユキコを助けるのが一番重要だよね。私もやるから、仲間外れとか絶対なしだよ。
やっべ、まだトイレ行ってねえよ。
ねえ、ありがとね。助けてもらって。花村も頼れるんだけどさ。けど、君ってやっぱり不思議っていうか、なんか頼れそうな気がするんだよね。
I think hers is the chariot? Excuse me. Yep. It's all coming back. All coming back. Oh, right. As I level up our social links, it allows them to do more in battle. Oh, I probably don't have enough courage to ask straight out. Let's try. Yep. Of course I don't.
あ、そうだね。必要だもんね、これから。
On New Game Plus, I would be able to do that.
雨が降ったらその後霧に注意だったよね。その前に絶対助け出そう。
Okay. Oh, shit, another question. I mean, I want to say bet because duh, but I also feel like this is like a trick question, right? Like this has to be a trick question. I don't know. Let me overthink it for like a minute or so. to keep taking low breaks to warm up because it's so fucking cold today. It's cold where you are? Oh man, I'm so sorry about that. I mean, for us right now, let me see what the temperature even is. Over here on the East Coast, it is 73 degrees. I'm not sure how cold it is over there. I'm so sorry about that, though. Let's go with beta. Why not? Oh, okay. It comes from the first two letters of the Greek alphabet, beta. Got it. I cheat on these in P5 because I don't know any of the answers. Yeah, I don't know. That was like sort of a guess. It seems to make sense. But like just saying bet seemed like it was a little too easy. 51 degrees. Holy. Damn. It's 51 where you're at. That's crazy. I don't know. I wish it was like a little cooler. Like maybe you're in the upper 60s. That would be nice. But 73 is okay. Great. Okay. Okay. Oh, hello.
Yo! Oh!
Okay. Should probably ask the same thing. Okay, so let's, there's a cracked door to outside in my room and two ceiling vents that let in the outside air. So I have a heater, but it's really trying and it isn't helping much. Well, I'm so sorry to hear about that. I wish there was something I could do for you, but sometimes we just have to kind of suffer in silence, unfortunately. Alright, yeah, let's explore the school a little bit. We don't have any clubs yet. I believe this person down the hall here is someone that we can eventually form a social link with. Oh, okay. Nah. Okay, that's still the student council room, I think? Calligraphy, no one's practicing. Okay, that's where I came from. Okay, this is where I was. Got it. Okay. I believe that there's usually also a student hanging around that area too. Who's the riddle master? What? People with requests. Oh. Red is group A, gray group B. Oh my god, that just like went through so much. It like skipped everything. Is there a way for me to go back? Damn. 50-50. I'll go with group B. Okay. Car colors? Flag colors? God, I don't even know. Because all that dialogue skipped, I have no idea. Car? Oh, okay. Ah, I have to come back later. That's so stupid. So dumb. Oh my god. Can't believe I lost out on that just because the freaking thing like auto like fast forwarded. That's insane. Not gonna lie, that's really fucking disappointing. What the hell, man? Okay. Okay, so nothing yet. Man, there's like, forgot that there's so much to do. Okay, that's where that's from. Yes. Actually, how much? Okay, we have almost 10k. Let's save real quick. Bookstore, don't need to go there yet. Yeah. Oops. Damn. Yeah, I guess so. Holy. Damn, that shit's expensive. Okay. Sheesh. Okay. Max HP by 10, magic by 1. Cool. Okay, that's gonna be almost all of my equipment though. Or all my money, I mean. Sure. Okay, so where is no? Okay, this should be regular stuff. Damn, I can't buy anything. Oh my god, man. Whew, I can't buy shit. Jeez. Okay, well, I guess not. Fuck me. Alright. Fucking jeez. Alright, let's go talk to our friends so that we can dungeon hop today. Oops.
よし、みんな集まったね。
Okay. Let's go.
気合い入れてくぞ。
let's go. Right, every once in a while he does give you items. That's good. Ugh. That's cool. I forgot that everyone here can oh, okay. That's interesting. Let's put everyone in their high school jersey. Why not? I don't even know what that does. Ah, shit. Not in time, bro. Actually, we did check on these before, right? They're not... Do we not use wind? Pretty sure Zio is the only one that hurts them right now. Yeah. Really would like a multi-Zio attack. Nice. Cards. Oh, okay. Sure. Okay. Oh. That's kind of surprising. I was expecting an enemy encounter in there. Let's go this way first. Okay, we got him this time, right? Okay, good. Bash and Evil Touch. Increase foes' attacks. Its strength is melee, but its weakness is fire. Sure, why not? shadow though.
敵にたい。頑張れクマ。
ちっそう倒れねえ。
敵がダウン。先生お見事。いいぞ先生。
Nice. Oh, I didn't change her tactics yet. Temperance. Patridia. Sure. Wait, it should be in tactics, I think? Skill? Status, maybe? How do I change her tactics? Oh, there we go. Jeez. There we go. Okay. I was like, there has to be a way to change the tactics. That would be crazy. Oh, neat. Okay.
Yukiko?
天城無事か。
やっと見つけたのに、ユキコ、なんかあら、サプライズゲスト？どんな風に絡んでくれるの？盛り上がってまいりました。さてさて、私は引き続き王子様探し。一体どこにいるのでしょう。こう広いと期待も高まる反面、なかなか見つかりませんね。あ、それともこの霧でかくれんぼ？よーし、捕まえちゃうぞ。ではでは、さらに少し奥まで突撃。
Exciting.
なんだよこれ。
ユキコじゃない。あんた、誰？何言ってるの？私はユキコ。ユキコは私。違う！あんた、まさか。本物のユキコはどこ？
なんだこの声。
シャドウが騒ぎ出したクマ。
それじゃ、再突撃行ってきます。王子様、首を洗って待ってろよ。あ、待って！今のユキコ、どういうことなの？
そうクマね。多分もう一人のあの子クマ。
俺らの時と同じってか。
でもデタラメに騒いでたわけじゃないクマ。本物のユキちゃんは何かを見せたがってる。それをはっきり感じるクマ。なんていうか、 このお城そのものがあの子に関係してるっていうか、想像してたより結構危険な感じクマ。
ユキコ、
おい、またかよ。たく、一人で行くなって言ってんのに。
Okay, right. I'm remembering a little bit now. Excuse me. Gold chest. Good thing we have a key. Wind valve. Increases wind damage by 10. Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Maybe? Well, they are flying. I guess that kind of makes sense.
Chance! ボコボコにすんぞ! OK!
Oh, right. I remember how annoying it was to deal with these folks. There we go. Cool. Oof, okay. This is gonna be a bit rough. Damn. Nice, critical. Maybe a healing card, hopefully? Oh, we got a one more. Justice. Oh, light. Kama. Low chance of insta-kill. One card on hand becomes an Arcana. Yeah, let's do one more. Okay. Okay.
レベルアップしたぞよ。
Yeah, yeah. And gentlemen.
Shadow 発見。
Alright. Hey.
先手必勝。敵は一体とな。
Ooh, okay, let's... What is this thing weak to? Not Zeo. Okay.
決めるぜ。
Damn, not Garu either. Physical?
敵がダウン。
No,
Yes,
but that
okay.
worked. Ooh, this thing's dead. Let me... do I chance it? Okay, sure. Damn it. Ah. Man. Fucking hell, man. God damn it.
ちえちゃん大丈夫？体力が減ってるぞ。
Okay, Snuff Soul. So, physical attacks?
誰かこいつを。
Do I have physical attacker? Oh, I do, I have a slime.
敵残り一体クマ。
ヘルトナ。
Yeah. Okay.
決めるぜ。
敵がダウ
Ooh,
ン。
okay.
オッケー。
Damn, 2-1-mores. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. Let's do that. Okay.
Ah, 階段見っけ。
敵は3
Oh
体ク
shit.
マ。油断禁物ね。 勝てる相手。
Okay. Well,
時代や。
敵ダウン。いけ花村陽介。
ヘルトナ。
I know usually we can kill the hands. They give pretty decent stuff.
起きたクマ、早くやっつけるクマ。
Oof. Okay, ow.
起きたクマ、早くやっつけるクマ。さすが先生、お見事クマ。
Okay, which one of you has Garu? I don't think any of you has a Garu. Damn. Okay.
敵残り3体クマ。
ペルトナ。
マジ感謝。
Oh, really? Jeez. Okay.
決めるぜ。ペルトナ。
ノリノリクマ。
Damn.
敵1体できた。
ペルトナ。
Okay. I don't remember what we used against this thing. I think we tried wind and it didn't work.
相手クマ。敵は1体。ゴーゴー。
Is it just strong to all elements? No.
嫌だ、しぶとい。
Resist physical. Okay.
おいぞ、
Well, if it's using Agi, then it's probably weak to ice. Okay, they had Garu. Oh, that thing resists physical. But it also is good against... Screw it.
ペルトナ。くそ、倒れねえ。
Critical?
先生の前に敵はないクマ。強い相手じゃない。きっと勝てるクマ。
It's Magician. Oh, come on. Money is halved. We get 2 more. Okay. One card on hand becomes hopefully the persona? Damn. Okay. Huh. Cool. Yeah. That's fine, that's fine. Do I even have a key? No, I don't. Okay. Okay, so this one definitely gives us a probably take the key just so that we can get back to that one.
逆転にヒット。陽介、その調子。陽介が調子に乗ってるクマ。
ペルソナ。サンキュー。
敵残り2体クマ。しえちゃんさすが。敵撃破。
やるぜペルソナ。
敵は1体。ゴーゴー。倒せないか。
Of course. Oh, nice.
敵がダウン。
Oh yeah, let's go. Okay, let's. Okay. So we get 3. Well, let's definitely get the EXP. What does that change to? Okay. Nice. We got another sweep. Oh, nice. So we finally get our first ice spell, which is good. Okay. Oh, did I? Okay, I just got it. Woo. Okay. We didn't try fire or ice on these guys. Nice. Which persona had fire? Oh, nice. Okay, so weak to fire. Perfect. Did not kill them, unfortunately. Running low on SP. Could really use some healing. Okay. Already got one of those. EXP. Oh, right. Another sweep? Okay. Let's keep it going. Let's go. Zio, okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah, let's give you a snuff soul. That is a red guy. Probably means they are really strong. Yeah, we're steering clear of that boy. Oh, God damn it. What the fuck? Okay. Oh shit. I don't know which one I should kill. Hopefully going after the main guy kills the things that he summons. Oh shit, come on. Good. Okay. Even better. Ooh, got him. Whew. That seems scary. Okay, let's get EXP. Really? How does that even work? What the hell? Okay. Oh, come on, man. Are you for real? What the fuck? Oh, come on, man. Well, I know this will at least knock that freaking ass down. Oh shit.
敵残り1体クマ。
Alright, come on, come on. Damn, we haven't had like a... Oh, this is where it ends. We haven't had a thing in a long time. Alright.
ちえちゃん大丈夫？体力が減ってるぞ。
Yeah. Shit, so we have to go through here. Okay.
気をつけるクマ。こいつは手強いクマ。
Yeah, I'm pretty worried about this one. Burning beetle. Probably ice?
敵がダウン。
Okay.
先生お見事。
決めるぜ。倒れねえ。
敵残り2体クマ。
Okay, great.
オッケー。勘弁しろ。
Ooh. Okay.
やるぜ。ペレスだ。
敵は1体。ゴーゴー。
Okay.
次に靴跡欲しいのは誰？
Aw.
さすが先生。レベルアップ。
Okay. Well, thankfully we got the advantage on that one, because if not, we...
うわ、宝箱
Oh,
発
shit.
見。
Still don't have a key. Yeah. Oh, god damn it, there's another one. Stairs.
先に進むか。
What the fuck is this?
強い愛。
Laughing table?
決めるぜ。ペレスだ。
敵ダウン。いけはなぶれ陽介。
Alright.
ペレスだ。
100点にヒット。陽介その調子。
We never did find out what this was weak
敵残り
to,
2
did
体
we?
クマ。
Doesn't have Hama yet. Actually, instills fear. Okay, not that.
敵がダウン。
Nice. Okay.
張り切っていこう。これで終わりだ。
Let's not take any chances. There we go.
ま、こんなもんだろ。レベルアップ。
Damn, we're just not getting any form of healing. My gosh. So cruel, so cruel. Are you okay? I was gonna be like, if there's another golden chest here, I'm gonna be pissed off. Okay, these things were weak to ice? Fire. That's not great. We're gonna stop that. Ooh, didn't quite get them on that one. Close though. Ooh, okay. Ooh. Garu. Link pile. Skullcracker. Strength. Weak versus electric. Strong against wind. Sure, why not? Oh, damn. These things again. Let's go. Okay, good. All right. We do need a chest key. Chewing soul. Wow. Okay. It's kind of just what the doctor ordered. Stairs up. Sure.
こいつは強敵クマ。頑張るクマ。敵がダウン。先生お見事。敵がダウン。
よし、一斉に攻撃するよ。よし、張り切っていこう。
Not enough. Okay.
敵は2体。押し切れるクマ。
決めるぜ。ペルソナ。誰かこいつを。
シエちゃんさすが。敵撃破。
Nice. Oh wow, we got 5 this time. Wow.
イエイ、レベルアップ。
Cool. Okay. Oh, okay. Right, so this floor warps you around. Ooh, there's a golden hand in there too.
こいつは強敵クマ。頑張るクマ。凍結が出。
Ice. Do I have a persona with ice? Nothing with Bufu. Okay. Still didn't kill it. Must be the resistance. Yeah, just barely. Diamond ship. Oh, cool. That is useful. Okay, so that brings me over there. I go forward here. It brings me here. Okay, good. That is a cube. Let's make sure it stays super on the floor. Okay. That works too.
Okay.
damn it. Every time, I swear to God, every single time. Every time there's healing, it like changes my healing. That is so annoying.
陽介大丈夫か？体力が減ってるぞ。
Okay, that's the door I can't open. So that brings me back there. So then if I go here... God damn, it's the beetle again.
でもきっと勝てるから。
しぶてえ。
敵は痛い。ゴーゴー。
必殺。
敵がダウン。
お、やらないの？いいけどさ。やだ、しぶとい。
そう、倒れねえ。
There we go. Okay. Okay, we got a sweep. Sweep's good. No, not yet. Not yet. Okay, so go there, go there, go there. Okay. Damn it. Okay, good. Oh, shit. That could have been bad.
敵がダウン。
いいぞ、その調子。
弱点にヒット。
行くぜ、相棒。いい返事
敵は2体。押し切れるクマ。ちえちゃんが敵をひねり潰すクマ。
誰かこいつを。
No, 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 no. Okay, whew.
ちえちゃんがペルソナ使えんクマ。
Pixie just keeps on leveling. It's never intentional. Okay. So I should get teleported out here. Man, I may just have to use an item to get out of here. This one's wind, I think? Yeah. Something around here that has winds. Oh, both of these have winds. Oh, wow. Okay. Perfect. That's where I was before. Okay, no, that's not where I want to be. Okay, hopefully? Okay. Good. Oof. Okay, damn. Oh no, we can get everything. Or no. Yep. Nope. Kaja. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, let's return to the previous floor. Okay, so things do reset. This asshole. So right now he's not weak to anything. Why not? See if we can even do anything. Okay. Oh, no way, dude. Come on. Okay. Well, I'll know to panic the guy. Use status. Got it. Nice. Okay, not that. Damn. Can we status this guy? No. Okay. Oh shit, okay. Let's see if lightning does anything. No. God damn. What the fuck, man? Strong against everything. Jesus. That works too.
チャンス。しゃ
All right. What the hell? Oh wow. You can just straight up level. Okay, I swear to God. Okay. Alright. No. I'm not gonna take any chances.
レベルアップしたぞよ。
Okay, that's the stairwell down. It's kind of interesting how the layout changes. Not that I'm not all for it or anything, but advantage. Ah,
敵は一体クマ
damn it.
そう倒れね
Okay, well, we know what to do here.
敵残り一体クマ
Nice.
やだしぶとい。
え。決めるぜ。ペガスだ。
Oh, you. Come on, dude. You have to stop missing that attack. What the fuck? You're just wasting HP at that point, man. Good lord.
みんなおめでとう
Chewing soul. Okay.
敵は一体クマ強い相手じゃないきっと勝てるクマ
Strong again. Okay.
敵は一体ゴーゴー
Tried ice too? Yeah, ice is neutral.
誰かこいつをお願い。
Ooh.
先生早く毒を治すクマ
Damn. I don't have anything for poison. That's pretty shit. Oh, alright. Oh shit. That's not good.
ちえちゃんピンチ回復してあげて
Close. Okay. Okay.
歩けない。
We're pretty weak right now. I don't know if we have anything that can heal the party. Yeah, not really. Yeah, let's exit the dungeon. That's probably pretty good. Okay, yeah, that's I think that's pretty good for today. Nice productive stream. Okay, so we've already done that. Not bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Let's swap back on over. That was pretty good today, I think. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully everyone else did as well, if you did stop on by, whether or not it was to lurk or what have you. Appreciate it. Yeah, another productive day. That was a lot of fun. I don't know if we're going to be doing Persona again on the next one. These streams are pretty... I don't know. They're not planned. For lack of a better term, so I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants all the time, and just kind of hoping for the best. They're very impromptu, so I do appreciate when you drop by, but that's gonna do it for me. I'm just gonna sort of let this play out here and just say thanks again for stopping by, and yeah, that'll be good for now, but thank you so much again. I do appreciate it. And I do put all the VODs up on my YouTube channel. I'll probably have to, like I said, I'll do some things to incorporate the just fixing the Be Right Back screen maybe for next time, and then get this posted up because you never know what's going to happen on Twitch, right? But yeah, it's been great. Thanks for stopping by, Ezra. Appreciate it as always. And I'll see you guys on the next one, okay? Please have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye.